You've seen the work we put in and day out, challenging myths, debunking old wives' tales, and exposing poor breeding practices. Ugh. We spent years researching, studying, and applying real-world experiences to perfect the art of science of breeding. Why? Because you deserve the best, most accurate information out there. But to keep this mission alive and growing, we need your support. If you found value in the Bred to Perfection live show, take a moment, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and share our content. It may seem small, but every like, every subscriber, and every share helps us reach more breeders who need to hear the truth, who want to learn what it really takes to create, maintain, and improve high-quality strains. This isn't just a YouTube channel, it's a movement, and you're a vital part of it. If you believe in what we're doing, if you want to help others discover the power of true breeding, help push this channel to the top. Like, subscribe, and share. Together, we make a difference. Thank you for standing with us. Now, let's get to work. Entertaining, informative, and educational. Inspiring content that makes a difference.
This is the Maximus Troy Publications Broadcasting Network.
Join the Academy. This show is brought to you by the Breeders' Academy, where we will help you to increase your knowledge of breeding, advance your skills as a breeder, and help you to improve the quality and performance of your fowl.
As a member, I'll provide you a roadmap that you will need to create a true family or strain. Starting with a cock from one breeder and a hen from another breeder, no problem. We can help you to turn your flock of hybrid crosses or mongrels into a pure family or strain, and show you how to continually improve that strain each generation. We'll start by showing you how to select your seed fowl and how to turn that seed fowl into a high-quality foundation strain. Our proven breeding programs and specialty courses are designed to take you step by step through the breeding process. And best of all, I'll be there to help you every step of the way.
We urge you to check it out. You have nothing to lose, and you can cancel at any time. You also have a 30-day money-back guarantee. Simply go to www.breedersacademy.com to sign up.
The Breeders' Academy will not only change the way you think about breeding, but improve the way you breed your fowl.
Hey, Dad, you know what side of the chicken has the most feathers? The outside.
Okay, welcome to another episode of Bred to Perfection. I'm Kenny Troiano, and I'm here with my wife, Nancy. And there in the Witness Protection Program is Peter Brown. Actually, he's a little more lit up than he was earlier, but he looked like he was in the shadow. I kept telling him he's in the closet. So
you say lit up, it makes it sound like I'm drinking.
No, it looks like you got a ray of sunshine coming out of your glasses. He was really in the dark there a little bit ago. We had him scoot up closer to the screen.
Could barely even see an outline of him, but we could hear he was there. That was a good thing, So, how you doing, Pete?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
We're doing good.
Good.
Can't wait to get into this. Nancy, before we get started, did you want to tell people what you were doing the other day?
I don't know. What was I doing the other day? I forgot.
Well, I know that a butterfly got fresh with you. Do we want to show that? But,
okay, so the other day.
Should I show the video first, or do you want to explain it?
No, let me explain it first.
Okay.
Down at the San Diego Safari Park for about 3 weeks only, they have a butterfly exhibit, and they are exotic butterflies from everywhere but California. So you have some that are in Texas, some that are in Florida, but mostly in Central and South America that these butterflies come from. So it's really nice to be able to see butterflies up in person, up close and personal, literally, that, you know, unless I go to South America, which I probably will never get a chance to go, we'll ever see. So anyway, Kenny, go ahead and
Yeah.
shoot the little video that okay, let me stop you there. The video that I shot is longer than this little montage, but Kenny wanted a little montage to show you guys what I've been doing. So here you go.
I wonder how many people got that last shot.
Notice I cut that one very short. It started on my stomach. I'm wearing the shirt actually that I wore that day. I wanted purposely to wear a nice flowery shirt so that they would land on me. And about 4 of them did. And this is the only one that stayed long enough for me to get footage of. And he started on my stomach and he crawled his way all the way up to his little perch there and was looking up at the camera. It was the cutest thing. And I walked over to part of where the exit was because they said, okay, your time is done. You got to leave. And it just stayed there. They had to pick him off of me. He liked me.
They're actually pretty cool. I don't know if we've ever discussed it before, but for the last 8 years, I've raised butterflies.
Oh, have you?
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. I think you told me that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Last year was a bust, so it was the 8th year, but I didn't spend as much time with it. Spent the money on it, but birds kept eating the caterpillars. But I have them in all stages of life. I watch them every day and have all kinds of pictures of them. I'll share them with you. I'll send you some sometime. You can take a look at them.
Yeah,
But,
they actually had birds in that thing too, that aviary.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
weren't
they
eating the
did.
butterflies, which was weird. I guess they knew.
I've been to a couple of those. They're pretty neat. And did they have a place where they could show you where they were hatching and stuff?
They showed a little window of where they were at, where they were hatching them. Yeah. So they hatch them in this like lab. And then when they're all ready to fly away, they bring them into that other enclosure and let them go.
Okay.
They were flying all over the place.
Yeah, if you get a chance, go to Troy on the Move and check out the video. It's about 20 minutes long. It's about 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty. Butterflies flying all over the place. Peter Brown comes on the show quite a bit. We talk about a lot of different topics when it comes to healthcare and disease prevention. But there's if you want more, make sure to go to the Breeders' Academy and you'll get a lot more. I can't tell you how many videos or how many diseases we've covered in the years that he's been helping me. If you want some medications or vaccinations or need some help or advice with your birds, just go to www.firststatevetsupply.com and he'll be happy to help you. So let's see. Did you want to do that little piece that we were talking about in the beginning or the end? Or
Yeah, your call. I think it's pretty cool. I like to share those things, as you know, and the opportunity to get all the information and put it out doesn't always happen as quickly as this one did. I thought this involved a lot of different things and actually having things lab verified, so it's not just my opinion of what I saw. I think it speaks volumes compared to just saying it's this or it's that. We actually have laboratory confirmation. So,
okay, let's go ahead.
To me, it makes it more valuable. Yeah,
let's go ahead and do it real quick. And
so I had just for the lead-in, I had a client, and I shouldn't really call her a client. We've been friends for many, many years, and she's been on the oil of oregano on a regular basis. Her birds they're all old. This is Abigail. She's 14. And she's got 2 other pen mates that are still survivors, and they're all the same age. And again, they've been on the oil of oregano and never had a problem. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, we got some blood in the droppings. So she got a hold of me right away. And I said, well, that's odd. And, I asked all the regular questions, this, that, and the other. And they've been on the oil yet. Okay. So we decided to put the bird on cord because we figured this is coccidiosis. But as my mind is working, I'm saying to myself, why? This shouldn't be happening. Okay. And, you start asking yourself questions. Is the oil oregano not working? Whatever. And I trust this person to tell me the truth because she cares more about her birds and animals than most people you would know. So this is the additional droppings pictures of droppings. So they're getting progressively worse, thicker and blood clotty on the other side, on the left, on my left, a little bit foamy and bloody on the other side. So we put them on cord, 10 cc's in a gallon of water. It's a liquid. And it cleared up. Took a long time comparatively. I would have thought I've seen it go a little quicker. This is as they got better. But as is often happens with coccidiosis, the bird will drink, but it won't eat. And as we progressed and the droppings got better, the bird still wouldn't eat. Okay. And I can tell you that as we speak, the bird's still not eating. Okay. So this originally started around March 6th. And here we are, the 3rd. So she's been tube feeding it. And we also switched or added, because the bird is drinking and it takes strain off the person that's taking care of them. I've been using for many, many years birds that don't want to eat or birds that need extra nutrition, a product called Dine. It's used in dogs when they don't want to eat, used in puppies and that kind of thing. And for lack of better description, when you open it, it's real thick, mucusy looking, looks like snot in a bottle. And we're using on this particular bird, and you can go any way you want, but 3 heaping tablespoons of that in about 16 ounces of water. And so it's getting a lot of nutrition that way. The goal here is to let the bird live a life. It's not going to recover. And I'll go into that in a minute, and I'll go into why this all happened the way it did. And she will make the decision when the bird gets to the point where it's not functioning. She doesn't want to suffer. So the trying to figure out why this happened. So I said to her, I don't think this is going to have a good ending. And I explained my position on it. I said, I've seen this before from the standpoint that the bird will not eat on its own, but it will digest the food if you tube feed it. And that's because the pathways from the brain and such to the proventriculus, which is the true glandular stomach, is the first stop that feed goes to after it comes out of the crop. Okay. When food touches it, it opens. But when the bird's hungry, the brain tells it to open if there's food there and to eat. It's not doing that. So I told her, I said, I think that the bird either has lymphoid leukosis due to age or Merrick's or both. So she took a blood sample. She cut off a little nip on one toenail, let it bleed into a particular vial they send you. She sent it off to the lab, and lo and behold, this bird has both. So it's not survivable. So the issue is to let her go and let her go on and do as good as she can. We got a picture of her here. I don't know if it's the next one or what. But
which one you want?
You go to the next picture, whichever one it is. I don't know what's coming up. So she started laying these, and we have them frozen. I'm going to get them analyzed. Looks like a combination of maybe some egg material, but we really don't see it. More like tumor material. You could see the outside of this one and that one. These are really tiny. I think the next one will give you an idea how small they are. Okay. And bird hasn't really laid eggs in quite some time. At 14, you wouldn't really expect it for the most part. And but it's pumped out several of these all of a sudden. And I think it's unique myself. It gives us another opportunity to get a real diagnosis on what this is. And I'll show you another. You can go to the next one, Kenny, if you want. Okay, so this is a complete dropping, and we'll call it a tumor for lack of anything better at this point. Is not encased in the feces, so it would tell me just up front that one came from the oviduct, the other came from the intestinal tract. So the coccidiosis is under control, but this may stop as far as pumping these out, but as far as the survival of the bird, it's not going to happen. And so at any rate, I think the next picture might show you the bird. No, another one. So this is, and again, this is real tiny. This was not really a hard shell at all on the outside. It was just more pigment. Again, obviously coming from the oviduct, less reddish material in the middle of the egg. And two more.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is after we started using the dyne, and she was still tube feeding her. Okay. So you can still see some urates in it, but we're not seeing a lot of urates, which is kind of interesting for the amount of water that she's drinking. She's not drinking copious amounts, but she is drinking more water and still not eating. Okay.
Yeah. You want me to play the video?
Yeah, I guess that's the one. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Come on. Come on, Abigail. Come on, Abigail. Look at you. Look at you. Very good. Good girl.
Interesting.
Bird acts like nothing's happened, but still won't eat. So why did this happen in the first place? How did a bird who was on a product that, to help prevent coccidiosis, really what is the breakdown of the immune system? And because that's really what holds coccidiosis in check, that symbiotic balance. And it certainly wasn't the worst case of coccidiosis that I've ever seen. And the breakdown in the immune system is probably obviously because of the Merrick's and the lymphoid leukosis are both immunosuppressive diseases. So, and I have no idea why a bird this age is still living and having that kind of an issue with both of them. And that's lab confirmed. So,
well, it's like we talked about. It has to have something to do with the immune system to get the diseases you're talking about later in life.
I think so. It's the only thing I can logically come out. Somebody else got a better idea. That's fine. Yeah. But it wouldn't be. I thought it was just a unique thing, and I thought we'd share it because it's worth sharing. The good information. If you see it in your own flock or whatever, you'll know what you're looking at.
Now, is that the same bird you said had that you thought maybe it had Merrick's or leukosis, or maybe it has both?
Same bird. I told her in the beginning, right after once I realized that after it wasn't eating, I said, "Oh, here we go again," and I just know, and and in my own mind, just trying to figure it all out, and I figured, it had to be a failure of the immune system, and that's why I suggested to her. I told her what I thought it was, and then she sent it off to. It's called RAL Laboratories in Texas. If anybody wants to do it, they're really good. They do a good job. I think for that cost her like $60. It's a special test, but they did to both. It's not really bad.
What's surprising me is that once they get Merrick's, usually leukosis, they don't recover. They don't look that good later.
She'll go downhill more than likely. It's I just don't see her survive. How long? I don't know. She's being nutritionally supported. She gets exercise every day. She goes and gets to spend most of the day with her other pen mates, which makes her happy. But you saw there, you would know that bird was sick. Even the lead-in picture, bird didn't look sick at all.
Yeah.
But
was she worried it was going to spread to the other chickens, or she just didn't know
they've been together for years, so I think it's too late to worry about it.
Yeah.
And she had lost one maybe about a month before this. Okay. And she knows if they're all 14 years old. I mean, that's a tribute in itself to good care.
Yeah, really good care.
Yeah, you
If-
normally don't see it. It's most birds that I see, they're lucky to live in 3 years, or less.
Exactly.
If somebody wants to send a specimen to the lab that you were talking about, is the address on your website?
Nope. If they just Google RAL Laboratories, I forget where they are in Texas, but it'll come up. And then you can, I think they have an online form on their website, or you can contact them directly on their phone. If somebody can't find it, all they got to do is shoot me an email or whatever, and I'll get it for them.
Okay.
So today we're going to be talking about insecticide and resistance to insecticides.
Yeah, this is something I dreamt up. Talked to Kenny about it because all I hear about on the internet of people using products and they don't work and they don't work and they don't work. And so I just thought it'd be a good idea to run through some of the rhyme and reasons of some things. Certainly don't have all the answers to all of it, but most people don't forget, I've been doing this a long time, so I feel qualified to say this. They don't read directions, and they also don't take direction very well. Okay, because I do this every day, and everything I send out has directions in one shape, form, or another, if it requires directions. And on a weekly basis, I'll get somebody who said, "Well, yeah, I got the bottle of stuff, but it has no directions." I said, "Did you look on the bottle?" "No." "Well, where'd you think they would be?" I don't say that. I want to.
Yeah. No, it doesn't surprise me the way people use medications and insecticides when it comes to getting rid of mice, lice, and
So
worms. That they're going to build a resistance just because they're using it improperly.
Yep.
So
from my perspective is that again, they don't read the directions, and what I mean by that is that what goes on in the backyard and the fancy fowl industry and game fowl and whatever is we want something that works, and then when we get it, we beat it to death and then complain it doesn't work. Okay, and the same thing happens with antibiotics. Okay, everybody wants way back when amoxicillin first came out. I mean, that was the go-to thing, and your doctor, even though he knew he shouldn't have given it to you, give it to you anyway, just shut you up. I mean, that's what they used to do, and he'd write you a prescription for it because he knew it was technically not harmful and it wasn't going to kill most people. So they'd write you a prescription for it, but now it isn't worth a hoot for the most part.
Yeah,
it doesn't pack the punch it used to. So they do the same thing with insecticides, and in most of the directions that come with the insecticides will tell you it's part of a rotational program. You're supposed to use it. No more than a couple of generations of insects. So that means if you use it today and they start popping up in another month, you'd use it again, but you'd change to something else the third time around. The other thing that I see out there all the time is that people do the birds and they don't do the coop. That's like taking your dog down to the dog spa and getting $100 bath for him and bringing them back and putting them in a flea-infested doghouse. I mean, what's the point?
I know you need to do both, but a lot of times, don't you need to use a different medication for the coop than you would the bird?
That's a good idea. Can't hurt at all. When we get to permethrin, that's where that will come in. Yeah. And I have some things I have written down here that I didn't send to you, and we can get to that if you want to. But
sure.
The follow a plan of rotating things around. It doesn't just mean all things have to be a true insecticide. How about a repellent? You could put peppermint. There's other things that you can do. We're going to get into them because this is like a two-parter because there's just too much stuff going on all at one time to do this. And but read the directions, and the directions for Elector PSP probably have some of the best directions I've seen. They have a whole section devoted to resistance. And they'll tell you right in their directions that this product has never shown to be resistant, but it tells you it can become resistant if you don't get on a rotational program with other insecticides. So that's why we started talking about this. That's why I put this kind of stuff together, talking about insecticidal resistance, because it's just as bad as antibiotic resistance. Because if you listen to everybody that's out there, nothing's working, and nothing's working because of you.
Yeah.
You're shooting yourself in the foot.
Now, what I noticed too is that some people think they're rotating their pesticides, but they don't realize the active ingredient in both of them are the same. So they're not rotating anything.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Yeah.
One of the interesting things I think is, and we'll talk about the permethrin, okay, the synthetic man-made product, not the natural one that's made from marigolds and all that kind of stuff. We can talk about that one. I think it's part of the mix. May even work these days better than some of the more chemical products. But if you go to the store and you buy permethrin, 99% of the time you're going to buy a 10% permethrin. Okay. All that means is that in that bottle, whether it be an 8-ounce bottle, 16-ounce bottle, 32-ounce bottle, gallon, whatever, that 10% of that solution has permethrin in it. That's all it tells you. That's not the strength of the product. It may be the strength in relation to how much active ingredient is in it, but it's not how much killing power it has. So if you look on the bottle, okay, on the label, it will tell you what the cis-tran ratio is. That's spelled CIS/TRAN. Okay. I'm not going to go into the chemical part of it. They're isomers. I know nothing about it. I read up on it. I said, this makes no sense. It's about the cis turns one direction and the trans turns the other direction. Whoopie-doo. I don't want to know any more than that. So what you need to know is the numbers. So what you'll see is the cis part of it is the more powerful. They both are killing agents, but the more powerful one is the cis part. So if you have a higher cis-tran, you have a more powerful product, regardless of the fact that it's 10%. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you look at a bottle and you look at the cis-tran ratio, most of them you're going to see about 30-70. I used to sell the Bayer Permectin 2. Okay, I don't sell it any longer, lost the contact on it and don't really care. It was a 40-60. So you with your 30-70 and me with my 40-60, all 10%, both of them. Same size bottle, quart, 16 ounce. Mine's stronger than yours. Mine will probably do a better job than yours. So I have some here that I give you example here. Okay. So here's a Martin's 13.3% permethrin. It's an 8-ounce bottle. Really makes no difference. Now you were buying 10% before. You say, wow, I got 3.3% more here. Well, technically you do as far as the amount of active ingredient, but it's still have to look at the cis-tran ratio. Okay. Now this particular product, where am I? Was 35-65. Okay. So it's 5 higher. It's a little bit better killing power. Okay. And there's others you can look at. Martin's 36.8% permethrin comes in a gallon. Okay. It's a 35-65. It's not even as powerful as the 10% Bayer that I was selling, but you got more permethrin in a bottle. So my point is, all of this is about trying to help you when you go shopping for this stuff. You want, especially permethrin. Some of the others, it doesn't matter. They don't operate that way. But no egg withdrawal time, none. As long as you don't get it on the eggs. Okay. Same as the Electra PSP. Almost every other insecticide that we'll talk about in the second half of this, the next time we get together, will have some sort of withdrawal or non-use at all on egg layers. Okay. But you can go through these things and you can look at them. There's one called Prozac. It's a 10%. It's a 35-65. Okay. Still not as high as the one I was selling at 40-60. Okay. What I think you'll find as you start to get above that 40-45% cis-tran ratio, I think you're going to find that they don't have a label for use on the animal. I'm not saying that they aren't out there. I spent about 2 hours looking around at different stuff, but I kept getting the same junk coming up. But that doesn't mean to me that you couldn't use that on the premise and the other one on the bird. Okay. Be creative a little bit.
Do these medications have a short lifespan? Because you've got an active ingredient in there.
I've never seen one with an expiration date. If it's there, I've never seen it.
Oh, okay.
I would venture to say that, if it doesn't have an expiration date on, how long do you know it's been on the shelf? I mean, if you're buying from your farm store, I know for me, they're not big movers, but I mean, it doesn't take me a year to turn a case or two of the stuff over, but I don't know. I've not seen that. Even on the Electra PSP. And there's another product that I don't think people are reading the label the way they should. So when you get down to reading the label of the Electra PSP, okay, it's going to tell you for use on the birds, okay, and it's going to tell you for northern fowl mite, and it's going to tell you how to mix it for that. But there's also another mite which is very resistant to a lot of stuff. It's called red mite. But they mix it stronger for the red mite. So why don't you just use the red mite concentration for the northern fowl mite? What's the difference? If it can be put on one bird, it's put on another.
So
in Europe,
2 different medications depending on the mite. They sell it like that?
No, it's two different
doses.
Right. It's you have the sheet in front of you. I got it over here. I'll tell you what it is here.
No, I didn't print it. I just sent it to you.
Okay, I printed it out this time. I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it to go on the screen the way I wanted it to. It wouldn't do it. So I said, screw it. Okay. So looking at here, this is application, northern fowl mite, 3 fluid ounces in 10 gallons. Okay. And coming down to the poultry red mite, 2 fluid ounces in 5 gallons. Big difference. So that's what I would use. And a little tip off, I've got a client that has an issue with red mites, and that person has done some in-house research, which is kind of interesting, finding out that they don't come out just at dark, they come out later in the evening. And it was consistent. Why? Have no idea. But they actually get off the bird and they spend time in nooks and crannies and all that kind of stuff. They come out at night. So it's recommended, at least for them, and even the northern fowl mite, when you want to go and do your birds and soak the back end of them, it's really good to get them while they're on the roost and they're mostly compliant. You're not chasing them all around and that kind of thing. But the red mites, even the northern fowl mite, every nook and cranny in the place, and the way this stuff is supposed to be put on the premise, and that's another thing. If you're going to use the permethrin, they have a higher concentration for using it on the premise than they do on the bird. So don't confuse the two. Make sure you read all parts of it. Okay. So it's a lot stronger for putting on the premise. So that's why I say you can probably use a 55, 45 cis-tran ratio on the nest and the coop and all. I would make sure it was dry before you don't want them running around and standing in it, but it's not going to hurt them otherwise. But no, I think all that's important. And again, it comes down to reading the directions. That's all I did. It's but there's a lot of people moaning and groaning on Facebook and other places that they're doing this and that and nothing's working. Some people that are using. Here's the thing I don't understand. You've never used Electra before, and what you're using now isn't working, and now you put Electra on them, and it's not working. A little red light goes off in my head. Electra attacks a different receptor site on the insect. That's what makes it work before anything else. The other one attacks something else. So this is not jiving here. So you either got the wrong concentration or you're not using enough. Or, I don't know. I'm not there. I don't bother to question people anymore. I let them fly on their own. But, something isn't making sense to me there. Okay. Again, think outside the box a little bit. Team it up with something that's natural. And we're going to go into it. There's a whole slew of stuff that I have written down for other stuff for the next go around on this, especially, and this was the biggest holdup was Exalt. Everybody wants Exalt. You're not getting it. The only place you're going to get it is Australia. You're going to pay through the nose for it. Okay. If your vet wants to stick his neck out and get it for you, that's fine. But it has to go through a vet and they're going to be very tight on it from what I understand. I'm a Merck distributor and I can't get it. Okay. not happening. Because as soon as I heard it was available, I put an order for 10 cases. If I didn't care what the cost was, because I know it'll sell.
Isn't that for dogs?
Exalt? No.
Oh,
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't read all the stuff. The booklet that I got from my sales rep is probably one of the craziest things I've seen on a new product ever, even back in the day when I was selling stuff. But no, and if you go and you look at the elector, okay, it'll tell you here in the directions. I'm going to read it, okay, part of it anyway. It says integrated pest resistance management. Okay, this product is a member of a unique class of insect. It's only because it's tiny print. Holy crap! And I'm sitting in the dark.
You're in your
figure.
closet.
Anyway,
We're going to let them out pretty soon here.
with no pre-existing levels of resistance to any insect. Okay, that tells you right there. And all of a sudden, all these people left and right are coming up resistant. Can it happen? I guess. If it's the first time you're using it, I question it. If you've been using it for a long time, I understand it. You've worn it out. Thank you. You know.
Yeah.
So Sue's asking, what about neem oil?
I've never used it. I understand it can be used, but I think there's some toxicity involved in that. And I'd research it before I used it. But we'll go into that another time. We can ask all those questions, and I'll try to remember to look that up myself and have that available. But there's a whole lot of other stuff. There's an insecticide out there that I've been hearing about. I won't mention the name of the company because they don't want to sell it to me, and that's okay. But it has cottonseed oil and something else mixed together. And it's supposed to be pretty good from what I've heard. So, there are other alternatives. There are other natural alternatives that are, no, it's a 14-day deal. You can't come back in 3 days to kill any eggs. You might kill the birds. It's too much.
Let me read off the question. Is it necessary to repeat application in 3 days to kill any eggs that might hatch in peritherium?
No. Okay. So we'll go back to the permethrin. One thing I didn't mention, so that's a good question. 3 days, absolutely not. 14 days, more like it. But the permethrin has, in other words, it keeps working after it dries. And how long? It's supposed to be 30 days. Some of the applications will withstand rain for a period of time. So it is a good product, and I hate to see it go by the wayside because it's something that you can readily get. It's not overly expensive, and has always worked in the past. But again, people overuse it and kill it, and that's the name of that tune. I would even consider using the natural pyrethrin on the bird, and then maybe mix the other two together and use that on the premise. As another alternative, thinking outside the box again. But I don't think I'd use the both at the same time on the bird. A little bit different. You start getting too much stuff on it, and you'll know they start to herk and jerk and twitch and everything else, and you're affecting the nervous system. And well, that's what they do. When they start doing that, and they're not trying to, they're not trying to win a twerking contest or anything. They're impaired, and it's a forever thing. So just bear that in mind.
I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm thinking about that some people use it so much that it built the lice and mites. I can't think all of a sudden, build a resistance.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how bad does it have to be on your farm to use it so much that you're building a resistance? I mean, I haven't seen lice and mites on my birds in years,
Mm-hmm.
So either they're not, like I did at one time. And I think I used the pyrethrin, the pymethrin, I think it's called. And I just, like you said, I hit them with it. I think I waited a couple weeks. I hit them with it again. And I might have did it one more time. And then I just kept an eye on them.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see it again. And then after that, it was more like if I saw a bird with mites or lice, then I would go check the rest of the birds in the pen, see what was going on. If it was
Mm-hmm.
the only bird, I'd call that bird. And then I'd go on, and it didn't usually happen where I saw it throughout the whole pen, but if I did, then I'd definitely treat that.
Right.
But I haven't seen those things in years, basically because I jumped on it right away, and then I selectively bred away from the lice and mites.
You also don't go to shows. You also don't swap birds left and right. You know,
That's right.
a lot of these folks do that, and that's fine. I had somebody here recently within the last week, 10 days, had gotten some birds from somebody, and they had severe ear infection, both ears. I mean, it was, pretty nasty. And so it's just out there. I don't think everybody does it deliberately. I think that people fail to educate themselves. That's why we do this show. If everybody would do what they're supposed to do, we'd be out of business. And but I think a lot of it comes down to people having birds that don't necessarily always have the time to go out and take care of them. When I did the Chicken Whisperer show with Andy Schneider for years, one of the things I always told people is, get a bucket and sit out in the yard and just watch. They'll tell you.
I remember that.
They'll tell you what's wrong. They will. And it's and I got that idea from an old veterinary friend that was a hog veterinarian, and he said, if you just take the time to stand around and listen, he said, they'll tell you. He said, it doesn't matter whether it's a horse, dog, cat, even humans, they'll just bellyache.
Yeah, I would just go out there, and if I heard sniffling or sneezing, I would zero in until I found the bird that was doing it. Boom, yank him off the roost and get rid of him. Yeah. And I just kept doing that until I didn't have any problems anymore. So, yeah.
But
so
it's just going back to the bird with the lymphoid leukosis and Merrick's and the coccidiosis and stuff. Certainly a shame, but to get 14 years of life out of a bird as your pet, I think it's pretty stout. And it's pretty interesting. You'll see them; they're red. They just show up, and they're usually in the usual place around the vent. But they can, and even the northern fowl mites, they'll migrate away from the vent. Okay, they get moisture and liquid from the vent.
And then, what do they do to the bird besides hanging out at the vent?
They irritate the hell out of them. They bite the skin. They eat the feathers. All of them are nasty. I think the red mites even worse. They're hard to kill. They have a big problem with them in Europe. Big problem.
Mm-hmm.
Exalt's supposed to take care of it. I know people that have gotten it from Australia, and it does work. I think the rub comes with the government. So let's circle back here for a second to wormers. Merck came out with the safeguard for backyard chickens. Okay. I think they learned from that trying to get people to do simple math ain't working. The directions are complex as I saw it. Okay. And, I looked at it, I said, these people aren't going to do this. They're just going to dump some of this stuff into water, and then they'll worm their chickens.
Yeah.
And the reason it has to be controlled, and the same thing with Exalt, it's an insecticide. It's given orally. It's not topical. You put it in a drinking water. So you have to estimate the pounds of weight of your flock. How much does your flock weigh? I can't see backyard people doing that. I can see commercial people doing it because they roughly know, because they pick up dead every day and they're supposed to know how many were in there in the beginning. Okay. And they'll do it, and they'll figure out how much they're supposed to weigh at the age they are. They'll do the math on it, and they'll dump it in the water. Okay?
Well, I can tell you what the game fowl community does. They have a worming program. It's crazy. They worm them every 2 weeks, sometimes every month, and
That's
some of them might do it every 6 months or a year. I can almost live with that, but every 2 weeks or every month.
That's absurd.
Don't they worm chicks too?
Yeah, some do. They're convinced that they're born with worms in them.
Not to my knowledge. I've not seen it.
No, I've talked to Dr. Gallardo too, and he goes, no, that's impossible. So,
no, but I wonder what the what's the evidence. I'm kind of like an evidence-based guy. I want to see the receipts. Otherwise, go sit down.
No,
You know?
I don't think they're actually finding worms on these most
Yeah.
of the time.
Yeah.
I just think that they don't want any worms whatsoever.
Okay, I don't either.
Well, they got to have some to develop the immunity to fight them,
Yes and no. If you have a good immune system, I don't think you're going to have to worry about the worms very much anyway. But I tell people to become a poop inspector. That's what I tell you.
Yeah.
Especially the backyard community, even the game fowl community. If you got him out on a teepee, he's the only one crapping on the teepee, more than likely. So go take a look at it.
If my birds are active, healthy, I pick them up, they're in good flesh. I don't see it in their droppings or coming out the vent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worming them. Like I told you, I haven't wormed my birds. It might even be 20 years now since the last time I wormed my birds. And every one of my birds on my farm were born here, and I've got various ages all the way up to 10 years. Yeah. So I don't worm.
So real quick, people might want to know why and how the insecticide resistance comes around. So it's kind of like the same thing as antibiotic resistance, because the population of the insect is so large and they reproduce so quickly. Those that are resistant and aren't killed off obviously breed, and you get more of them every cycle, and you keep getting more and more of them till they take over. Okay. And so that's basically how it works. Antibiotic resistance is the same way. Okay. Those that are resistant survive, and when they split off and to cells split up and divide and make more of themselves, they make more of the resistant ones. So all of this stuff could be prevented for the most part if people would pay attention, get on. I don't care what wormer you use or insecticide you use. Same thing with wormer. If you're going to worm, find something that works, but don't every 2 weeks is nuts. That's absolutely absurd. It sounds like pigeon people. Pigeon people. They're the ones that wore out the canker medications because they give it to them whether they have it or not.
Yep. Well, they're doing the same thing with antibiotics.
Yeah.
They're giving it to them whether they need it or not.
Yeah.
And they're giving it to every bird on their farm.
Yeah.
They hear it's going to rain next week. Out comes the antibiotics. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. So, and then they wonder why it doesn't work anymore. Yeah. I was so happy when they I thought they were going to take it off the shelf, and that they would have to get it from people like you if they really needed it that bad. But I'm not so sure they did, because I was thinking we need to start becoming breeders again. We can't be just pulling out the medications every 2 seconds or for anything. We need to kind of selectively breed our way there, not try to do it with medications. So,
well, it's the community game fowl. It's what is somebody else doing? Not I've told people time in and time out. Send a sample of your droppings into your state lab. Okay. Some will do it for free. Some will charge a nominal fee. Shouldn't be a big deal. And find out what you got before you go ahead and use something. That's kind of stupid, But hey, they're not my birds.
Yeah, it's been going on for years, as long as I can remember.
The problem with that is that you only have so many wormers left out there. Okay. Like I have piperazine to sell. It's pretty close to the formulation of some of the wazine that was out there. It's effective, but it's not selling. Once I'm sold out of what I've got, I'm not going to carry it again. There's no point.
Yeah, and, piperazine was the one you could easily get on the shelf.
Yeah,
and it got to where it wasn't working anymore.
Again, overused, and people wanting to use it for things that it wasn't designed for, strictly a round wormer. It didn't get tapeworms, didn't get gape worms or any of that stuff. Didn't get capillary worms. So if you were giving it for those purposes, you were just using it for no good purpose.
Why does Exalt work better than other medications?
Partly because it's new. I don't actually know the mode of I haven't gotten around to reading the the book, nor have I sent Kenny his yet, but it's on my to-do list. It was just overwhelming amount of pages. You'll see when you get it, because I had one made for him as well. Because the one they sent to me, they sent it in some sort of wacky PDF file that it, I'm not computer savvy anyway, so I just took it to a company here in town. I said, here, I can't deal with this thing. make me something that I can read.
That's funny you said that. Well, send me the PDF file, because you would give me the paperwork. I'd try to turn it into a PDF file. That's what I'd probably do with it. I can do more with a PDF file than I can the actual paperwork,
Yeah.
So,
and then, the other part of it is to know what you're dealing with, know the enemy. It's kind of like rodent control. Okay. If you know how they act, you know where they're going to be and that kind of thing, you can be a more effective killer of them than if you don't know. Putting rat bait out in the middle of a room is not very effective, because they're not going to go and get it unless they're starving to death. So there's a whole lot of different things that go into getting better at what you're doing to help yourself. So.
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the red mites,
Mm-hmm.
and you give the birds the medication and you clean the enclosure
Mm-hmm.
really well, how often do you have to re-clean that enclosure?
Well, I can't give you an actual, I would say in the beginning, I would probably do it, like every 2 weeks until you stop seeing them. I mean, you really have to exterminate them in order to really get control, because they're so prolific. I don't even remember what the life cycle is, very short. Okay. So until you get them under control, but I wouldn't keep coming at them with the same insecticide. If you're being effective with that one, move on to something else that by the second time you do it, because you're going to run into the same thing. Now, if they truly have the elector worn out like this, we're really in trouble when you really think about it. Okay. So I think maybe now it's time to incorporate some of these more natural things. And we'll talk about it again in the next segment we do the next time around. There's an enzyme-based product, been around for a long time, and we'll talk about it. What I like about that product, first off, this is what I don't like about it. It's a slow kill. Okay, it can take days before you see anything from it, but you can use it daily if you have to. There's no toxicity, and you can make it as strong as you want to make it. Okay, so my point is, if you start using some of these things and rotating them around, especially things that are not going to give you the resistance, like your natural products, peppermint mixed with lemongrass and other things. Yeah, garlic is okay, but it stinks.
So I don't think garlic kills them, but does it make them
Deterrent?
deter it, like get it,
I don't think that garlic is going to upright kill them. It could be a deterrent. I know for a fact that, and we've talked about it before, that product that comes out of California, what the hell was that stuff? It's garlic. It's the garlic juice. And what were we using that for? Can't even remember. Mosquitoes. It's called mosquito barrier. Remember that? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so you could certainly do that in your coop. The problem with it is the smell. I think I'd probably pick the peppermint and the lemongrass or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll talk about that the next time, because I've got some stuff I've got together on that. And we'll talk about the natural stuff, the enzyme product, which is a good product, and I'll tell you where you can get it, because they're nice people. And
is the red mite indigenous to the Americas, or I think you were saying that it's a big problem in the UK as well. But what about, say, the tropics?
I don't know. I don't know how widespread it is. I think it's just getting started here, because I haven't really, over the long, my career, it's only the last few years that I've really been hearing about the red mite here.
Really? I used to see it when I was a kid.
Okay.
So I always thought it was this.
Well, maybe it's more prolific now.
I don't know. I just figured everybody had it because nowadays it's a global, community. If you think about it, where we're shipping birds all over the world.
Right.
Birds from the United States are going into other countries, and with the right permits, they're coming here. You know what I mean? So
well, I have a client that is in a much colder climate and has them pretty bad. So I don't think it's going to be dependent on whether it's tropical or not. I think they would probably thrive very well in a tropical climate because they don't seem to be doing poorly in very, very low temperatures below zero.
I mean, if I had to give any suggestions or any advice, I'd say check out your chickens, the ones that have the lice or the mites, jump on it, take care of it, keep an eye on it, and don't let it get out of hand again. And then start breeding, selectively breed the healthy ones from there. And eventually, I don't think you're going to have a problem with it unless you do what Pete said, where you're always bringing in new birds. Yeah, you're going to show them, but you should always be quarantining them. But if you're going to bring in new birds all the time, it's not just diseases. It's the parasites too that you got to worry about. Yeah.
Well, I think some of the problems that we see, people are getting birds shipped to them, so they're not even seeing them before they get them, and you get it. Just like this person the other week or so ago, bought a bird from somebody that's reputable, I think, and I don't know exactly who it was, but I was told it was reputable, and both ears were just solid gunk.
Here's how I know how bad mites and lice are. As far as passing it at shows, I've judged a number of shows where I picked up birds that were crawling up my arm.
Oh yeah, when I was in college.
That's how bad. And then I gotta, get them off my arm, put the chicken away, get them on my arm, and then guess what I get to do? I get to go over to the next one and pick up their birds. Yeah, I remember walking to the bathroom a couple of times trying to wash up my hands the best I could.
Yeah. The good part about it is that they don't want no part of you just as much as you don't want any part of them. You're not their style.
But there's probably enough on my hand that when I go pick up another bird,
Yeah, all it takes is a couple.
Yeah.
Well, it's like at the fair, like the junior fair that they have up here in Ramona. They have to pass an inspection in the morning before they go into coop. They have to be lice and mite free.
So shows are like that.
Yeah, they should
Especially
be.
the game fowl ones. They're not like that. You don't find it out till you pick them up when you're judging them.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen anybody in the fancy shows really touch anybody's birds. When coop in time is in from Friday night till 9:00 Saturday morning, people just stuffing birds in things, washing them, cleaning them, trimming them up, doing whatever they got to do to make it better for the judges. But I don't know how you can raise chickens and do that and not understand. At some point, you got to pick them up and put them in a coop to get them where you're going.
Oh, you want to hear something funny?
You've got to know that you've got them.
Okay, I got something for you. Nancy's probably knowing where I'm going to go. Knows where I'm going to go with this. This is years ago, probably 30-something years ago, and we were showing our birds for the most of the part for the fun and for showing them, and I never took the showing seriously because I never wanted the judge to pick my birds anyways. But we got free tickets to the fair if we did. Okay, that's why we did it. And I was trying to talk my dad into doing it. Hey, take your chickens and show them. You'll get free tickets. You can get into the fair. And so he shows up to the fair, and I was going to help him load them all up and get them all in the pens, right? And I pick up his birds. He didn't clean them up. He didn't wash them. He didn't do anything. They still had crap hanging from the back end. They had everything wrong with them. I go, oh my God, you can't show them like this, man. He goes, what? So I tried to brush them off the best I could. Stuck them in the pens. I said, Dad, you're not going to win anything. He goes, okay. Guess what? He actually won.
It was a black cochin, wasn't it?
No, I think they were like partridge cochins or something. And he actually won his class. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe what he never let me live that down. To this day, he still tells me about that.
It was some crappy hatchery chicken.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And he just threw them in the pen. He goes, I didn't know what to do. I just threw them in the thing and brought them. I go, God, they were awful looking. They were in terrible shape, but they won.
And meanwhile, we had spent the night before cleaning up our chickens, washing their feet, and
Yeah.
Making sure their feathers were really nice and shiny.
Oh, there's a lot of people in the fancy that not everybody washes their chickens. The majority of them do. They spend a lot of time washing them, blow drying them.
Yeah. Well, my dad should have gave a little bit of an effort. Come on, man.
Did the judges even pick up the birds, or just?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I just showed up and he was laughing.
That might be why he won.
And
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I didn't want, Pete, I didn't want to be anywhere around those birds. I didn't want to be associated with them or him. I loaded. I got the hell out of there. Had a good time at the fair. Came back and he was laughing his ass off. So
That is funny. It is funny.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Any questions?
No, we kind of like went through them as we were going, but even Brett saying they've got those red mites in Australia as well. So it must be global.
Yeah, probably.
I'm thinking it is.
Yeah.
But that's
give this exalt time if it gets in the hands of enough people in the backyard and show community, they'll ruin it because they just won't. No, it's all right. They just won't pay attention and won't read the directions and stuff. So
I got excited. What I noticed too, and it's bad enough that they overdose their birds, but it's even worse in some ways when they underdose them. They don't give enough, and they don't actually kill the pests.
That's why I said if I were reading the directions for the elector and I came down to the bottom there where I read to you about the northern fowl mite dosage versus the red mite, and I was feeling like the product was failing me, I would think that I would put it, I would put the red mite dose on my birds. What's the difference? It's much stronger. It's 1/3 less product with half as much less water. So it's certainly stronger.
So if someone was just getting into chickens and they're listening to what we're talking about and they wanted to make sure they're rotating their insecticides properly, would it be 2 of them or 3 of them? And which one would you suggest right off the bat?
I'd probably go with 3 of them. I'd start with probably the highest cistran ratio that I could get that would have directions for putting on birds, and then work to the elector PSP, and maybe try some of the others just to keep them in the loop. Some of the enzyme product. I'd probably start with those 3. I kind of like that. I think that and again, it doesn't mean, here's another thing. So you're having a problem with elector PSP. So go get yourself the enzyme stuff and load your birds down with it. And you haven't hurt them. And there's no resistance to it. The way the enzyme works is it eats through the cuticle of the insect. That's where the time comes in. It takes time for it to do that. And then they're exposed to the atmosphere and they die. So it's a slower kill, but it does work. And again, you can take that and you can mix it any way you please. You can follow their directions, so you can put it on stronger. It's not going to hurt the bird. So, but we can go through all of that. I used to sell it and just wasn't a big mover, but I would think that in this climate now, if enough people are listening to us and stuff and want to try different things, that's what you have to do. You have to be a little bit innovative these days. But I just can't see a person who is having problems with mites and using, let's say, permethrin, and switches to the elector and is having a problem almost immediately. That's nuts. I don't buy it. There's something wrong. Because
they didn't do something right.
Well, the claim with the elector is the fact that it does not attack the same target as does the permethrins, pyrethrins, the ivermectin, and such. Those products. When you start getting in, and we'll get into it next time around, the some of the other classes of insecticides that are out there, the organophosphates and stuff, much more toxic, much more.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been about, it might have been 20, 25 years, maybe even longer now. I remember, a lot of these products were on the market and they were starting to use them, and then they weren't working as good as they were hoping. Once people realized it was a product called ivermectin, they started injecting their birds with that, and they got results. That's what everybody was using for a while there.
Yep.
Went right to that every time.
Every time.
Yeah.
So I think we need to make a little bit of a statement here about something, and I'll go ahead and do it. Follow the label directions, regardless of what we say here. The EPA is very unfriendly when you use things off label. When you buy it from Australia, I'm not telling nobody. I don't care. You buy it where you want to buy it. I'm not dabbling in it. I've been asked to get it, and I'm not. I just don't. They don't play. And if anybody has been following the news over the last 4 or 5 years, during the Biden administration, they cracked down on all these people with the diesel trucks taking the environmental controls and everything off them to get more horsepower and everything else. Okay, the companies that sold all that stuff have been hit with fines of $10 million or more. Okay, so they don't play. You get a letter from them. This is what you owe. Generally no cease and desist, where other agencies will say, hey, quit doing that, and you'll stop and everything goes away. They're not that way. They're, hey, you're doing that. Here's your fine. Okay. And so follow the directions, because that's why they come with the product in the first place, and it's, I know there's somebody saying somebody's taking the elector and breaking it down. My hat's off to you. If that's what you want, I don't sell that crap. It's too expensive. I shouldn't call it crap. It's actually a good product, but my point is I don't sell it. It's too much money, sits on the shelf. Here's the other thing. Does anybody ever realize the fact that once it freezes, it isn't worth a damn? Tells you right on the bottle, tells you right in the directions. Do not freeze. Okay. Turns to almost a semi-hard gel in the bottle, and you're done. That's it. And that was
why would they do that other than to leave it out when it got cold? Why would they purposely freeze it?
Well, think about it. You're mixing this stuff up in your shed, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And you live in Colorado, or you live in Nebraska, or, whatever, or New York State, upstate New York, cold. And that bottle freezes. It's done. Right. $150 plus out the window.
Yeah. That's the only way I thought it would be done. I was just wondering if they're purposely freezing them. I wouldn't.
I also wonder, when you're getting enough from a person to do smaller amounts, because I've always felt this way about stuff. When you take something that's supposed to have X amount put in a gallon of water and you start chopping that up, does it really have the same concentration? Is it the same? I don't know. But I've seen things that people have split liquid-wise and even powders that just don't work the same. That's why when I developed and put together the kit for Merrick's for splitting it, getting 4 doses out of the same bottle, people often ask me. I know people that split it more than that, but you're playing with fire. The more you go out, because it's not dose dependent, it's PFU dependent on it. So what's to say, when that wafer is freeze dried, that all of the active cells aren't on one side of the bottle? You don't know. I don't know. But you've got a better shot at it if you're cutting it into quarters and using it that way. Okay. I've not heard any complaints from anybody. But so it's just a thought that I've had, and I know that somebody is selling it that way. It's been brought to my attention. And I said, well, why don't you do it? Because I'm not. I'm not. I do a lot of other things, but I ain't doing that one. And
I have a feeling some of those that are selling medications are doing a lot of that, buying it in large quantities, trying to split it up, and then I don't think the doses are right.
Well, I'll say this: a lot of the stuff that is around that's generic. Okay, to give you an example, when we did the thing on Baycox, Toltrazol, last time around, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, the dosage that comes on the bottle that you buy it is incorrect. You'll never get anywhere with it. And I know people think it's the best thing since sliced bread, but I know people that won't buy it again because it's not working. It's not working because they're not using it right. Again, it goes back to, 7 grams. I think it was 7 milligrams per kilogram or whatever the dose was. Okay. Wait a minute. I got it here somewhere. 7 milligrams per kilogram. 7 milligrams per kilogram. Okay, who's going to do the math?
Yeah, I wasn't even. I didn't do that kind of stuff in school. Grams and milligrams. It was inches and pounds.
So that's why we did that episode. We put out the right information. How many people actually follow it? Who knows? But that's how all that stuff gets started. So I agree with you. I have compounds that I break down, but I know what I'm doing. I know how much. I know what the directions are, and I've been doing it for many, 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 many years.
Yeah.
And there's things you can mix together. There's things you can't. So,
yeah.
People have to figure that most of the stuff now is coming from out of the country, and they really don't have any regulations. They don't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's amazing that you can even get it into the country. If there's no regulations on it.
I have no idea how they're doing it, but they're doing it.
Yeah, they're doing it big time. Like I said, some of the medications were taken off the market, but like you said, a lot of it's coming from Mexico. And I was talking to Dr. Gallardo about it, and he was saying that the some of it's too old, some of it's not mixed properly, and some of it's not made properly. The doses are wrong. Some of it's too strong. It'll actually kill the bird. Some of it won't do anything. It's just like you said. I don't think it's regulated, but they're getting it. They might have stopped it from being sold on the shelf or being supplied here, but they sure get it.
Well, anytime go back and look at our country historically, anytime you tell people they can't have something, there's always an underground. Always. Yeah. Prohibition was a perfect example, and in actuality, they had to have the Coast Guard patrolling the Great Lakes because they're coming across the lakes from Canada, and vice versa, picking up booze and stuff. So but they still get it through,
Yeah, I just feel sorry for the people that are buying birds from these breeders who are using this medication on a regular basis, because they're bringing home, for the most case, flawed birds, weak birds that almost can't live without it at that point.
Yeah, so. And the other thing is that a healthy gut on a bird goes a long way, and people just do not understand that. They don't understand coccidiosis. As many times as we've talked about it, as many times as I've done shows with Andy Schneider, as many articles that I did in the Poultry Press, the Gamecock, and all of them, we're still talking about it. Like it's, nobody's listening. And maybe they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know that feeling. We've been teaching for a long time. And it seems like we get to some people, but I see some of the things that people are saying online, and I start to wonder, are we reaching anybody? Because I can't believe we're still talking about some of this stuff. Yeah.
Some of it's very entertaining. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
I guess if shouldn't be complaining, but and it's not really a complaint. It just blows my mind. I don't know. It's just crazy.
Like when they go, which birds make the best three-way crosses? I'm like, oh my God. It's like I almost feel like we're so repetitive that we're,
We just have not reached the masses yet. We're trying to get out there. That's why y'all need to subscribe, like, and share our content. Also, I didn't remind anybody at the beginning of the show, but if you wanted to be in the chat room, you need to be a subscriber. So remember that for next time. So go in there and subscribe today so that on Friday, you can be involved in the chat room with the rest of us.
Yeah, there was a time Nancy would send things to me like, can you help this person with this? Can you help her with that? I'm like, and I would do it from time to time, and then I'd just get attacked. I'm like, oh, why did I even do that? You know what I mean? It's like
I know better now.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like where I'm at. If you want my help, you know how to get a hold of me, and then I'll help you the best I can. But I usually don't go to someone else's channel or somebody else's pages and give my advice. It's almost not worth it.
I've 99.9% stopped doing it. I was doing it for a while as a private message, and when they don't even take the time to respond back, then
Yeah.
I'm very willing to my middle finger. You get tired of it after a while. You know, they whine and they carry on like little children and stuff, and you reach out to them, not just to help them. I'm not charging you anything. It's free advice. You don't have to take it. Listen to it. You might learn something, you know. And if you want to tell me I'm full of crap, that's fine, because I'll pick up my sticks and move on. That's all.
You know, it's like it's the difference between helping somebody on the outside and then helping somebody on the inside of the website. You get a whole different person. They have a different outlook. They're more motivated. You could tell they want to learn. They're excited, and they absorb what you're saying. You know, you can feel it. On the outside, you know, they'll ask a question and they'll get 300 people giving them a different answer. You know, how are they making a decision from all that? You know what I mean? So I don't get it.
Well, I think it's who you ask too. You know, I mean,
they're asking everybody.
I have to say that when I was, you know, going to college and the people that I was involved with there, really good mentors. A lot of it because I was older, married when I went to college, and they saw things differently. In other words, and some of them I thought was a little bit wrong. You probably think the same way. Okay, like I needed more because I had a family. You don't. You're just a kid growing up, and you don't know nothing. And it was kind of you know, one of those things. But my department chair and I were like that, and a couple other professors and stuff. But I put the effort in too. I mean, I was there day and night, and I worked nights, and I went to school nights, and so nobody handed it to me, you know.
Well, ask Nancy. I was always good about surrounding myself with the right people.
Yeah, he does. He tries.
Yeah. I attract them or something. I mean, I've been going to you for healthcare for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I've got Tony Seville for form and structure, and you know, Bob was my breeding guy. It was all about purity of blood and no contamination, creating strains. It seemed like I found the right people that really understood what they were talking about, and I thought they were true experts. And then I always had a few people that just did everything wrong, and I learned from them too. Actually, you know, not that I followed their advice, but it was just don't do what they're doing. You know, that type of thing. Yeah. It's everything you see online today.
I'm always open to learning, though. I mean, you know, like I've told you all before, I don't know everything. I know a lot. Yeah, my grandkids, you know, they'll say to me, "Pop, you know, you're smart." I said, "No, I'm not smart at all." I said, "I read." I said, "I suggest you do the same."
Well, it's like Henry Ford. They took him to court because they were trying to take his business away from him, the Ford company, right? And he said he didn't need to know all the questions that they were asking. He goes, "You know what I got? I've got this console here, and if I have a question, I know which button to push to get the answer I need." And that's how I've always felt that you know, like today I've got Brian Reeder for genetics. You know, Tony Seville is still I think he's probably the top expert when it comes to form function. I've got you for healthcare and disease prevention. You know, I still have the right people that I can call or talk to get the answers that I need. Yeah. So that's what I rely on. I don't just go online and say, "Hey guys, what do you think?" Because there ain't no way I'm going to get the answer I'm looking for that way, you know?
Yeah, but you have to understand some people don't know that we're out there, you know, yet. And they go out to these groups because they just need to know. I mean,
well, I don't know about Pete, but I've been told I'm unapproachable. That everybody's afraid to talk to me. So that might be the problem too, that they're afraid to come up to me and start talking to me because I just look so unapproachable.
So come to me first, and I'll be your liaison to get to Kenny.
Well, like we'd go to the shows and everything.
I don't think anybody's ever said that about me. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, I'll admit, when I first met you, I don't know if I want to say unapproachable, but you had a very rough outer core. That really? I always thought that I could say the wrong thing. You could jump down my throat about it, you know. But
I know what you're talking about. But that comes from a different. That comes from a different area. I'm much more different now.
But I've known you for so long now that I don't even know. Yeah. We're like really good friends. I wouldn't even think like that anymore. You know.
And yet,
yeah,
he Kenny still says to me quite often, I can't believe I've got Peter Brown on my show.
And by the same token, I'm humbled. So, I mean, that's how I am. I never was one for the limelight. In college and in school, I always sat as far back in the room as I could. I don't like to be pointed out. I don't like to be the center of attention.
Ask Nancy, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
People think I look for the limelight because I do these shows and I do what we do.
I don't.
I'm pretty shy, actually.
Yeah.
And I don't look for it at all. Matter of fact, like I was going to say, whenever I go to the shows, like the game file shows and stuff like that, a lot of times my brother would go with me, and they would always walk up to Vinny and go, "Hey, you think he'll talk to us? You think you could get him to come over here and say something to us?" You know, and they were, "Oh yeah, just go talk to him." And they go, "Oh no, I can't do that." You know, so they would always go to Vinny. Vinny looks more. I would say Vinny. Wouldn't you say Vinny looks? With not knowing him, he would look more hard to talk to, unapproachable, because he's bigger. He's rougher looking and a lot taller than me and bulkier, you know. So I would think
he used to be so.
Yeah, so they would always go to him and say, "Hey, do you think Kenny would talk to us, or can?" Yeah, go talk to him. No, I can't do that, you know. So I thought that was kind of funny.
I don't know. There was a time in my life early on that I might have had that little bit of a hardcore on the outside but had nothing to do with what I did for a living. It's a personal deal. So it's
well,
you mellow out after a while. And again, like I say, I never think I'm anybody special. I just guy knows a lot of shit about a lot of things because I read.
Yeah.
And the other part of reading is you can read, but you also have to comprehend. So if you can't comprehend, that's an issue. But
that can be a very big issue.
It can be.
Me, myself, I'm a pushy person by nature. So if you come up to me and you're afraid to go talk to Kenny, I'm going to drag your ass over to talk to him. I want you to get help, you know, anything that you need. I want to be there for you. So there you go.
I do a lot of stuff every day, you know, free of charge. People call me, get sent to me. You know, how do I pay? I say, you don't have to pay me. What's the problem? Let's fix the problem. If you feel like you want to do something, send me something, fine. If you don't, that's okay too. You know, lots of times I'll just send them something, what they need. You know, where they got a bird or two sick or whatever. I've done it a zillion times. I'll do it for humans too. I've got somebody right now I'm working with. She's pretty bad shape, but she needs a little bit of help. And I'm trying to get her a natural product to help take care of something that will help her. It's not going to help her long term, but it's going to help her short term. And I've been chasing down the right product. I think I've got it lined up. And there's a lot of bogus products out here, so you got to watch what you're doing. I have the product, but it's not medical grade. So it's organic. It's certified organic. And that's another thing I'll tell you. One of your listeners, and I won't use the name, but he hails from Hawaii, real nice guy, and he's agreed to run a trial on his birds to run for a bacterial issue. So we're going to start running some black cumin oil on those birds. It's a high dollar product, but I've got a bunch of it that I bought, and so I'm going to give him enough to run a trial for a couple of months and set a small group of birds and see what we get.
Yeah.
And what is that supposed to help?
It's a strong antibacterial. It's an ancient medicine. You can look it up. It goes way back to biblical days. It was considered like the silver bullet from back then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they'll talk about it in seeds and oil. I have the oil, which is the problem with a lot of your natural products. If they're in an oil form, they become hard to administer. The oil of oregano is different because it's made to go in solution, stay there. So this is not. This is pure, straight up black cumin oil. Looks like motor oil in a can.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it's fairly expensive. But I forget what I paid for it. I'd have to look. But it's most of this I'm going to be giving away to people that have issues and see. Again, looking to expand the line of products that I have on the natural side now that I have slightly more time to do it. No more days like today, no more disasters. So
You're talking about giving advice for free. This is where you get it. People will send me messages because, hey, can I ask you? I know you charge. I know you have a website. Can I ask you a quick question? And they'll ask me it, and I says, hey, that is a good question. Come on to my show and ask me it there because that's where you're going to get it for free.
Yeah, the way I look at it, I've never been all about money. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out here that are selling things that money is their only issue, and it's the only thing they're interested in, and they don't care whether a product works or not. So that's why when you go to my website, you won't find all the other hokey products that other people sell, because I'm not going to put it on my website if I don't believe in it and if I don't believe it works. So that's just the way it is. And other people will always outsell me, always, because I'm not a salesman to start with.
I know. I need to work on you. I need you to start selling yourself so you need to start making money. Your advice is, hey, the advice you give is worth it. I'm telling you.
It is.
Well, it's hard to actually get people to pay for it. It's
getting people open their wallets is a big deal.
And I try to be fair about it. So let's say you paid me the money to $50 to have a consult with me. While the website will say 45 minutes, it's never 45 minutes.
Yeah.
No.
Because I give you my cell phone. I tell you that I want to know everything about this. This is what we think the remedy is, but you're not done, and you don't have to pay another $50 to find out the rest of the story. Okay. So, it works in that aspect of it. It works. Some people like that. And a lot of people, I'll tell them, you don't have to pay me at all because this isn't fixable. I'll tell you right up front. I'll have your money refunded.
Yeah.
I just don't believe. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I've been a worker all my life. I come from a working family, and this is it. And I never had a great amount of money, and I'm not gonna. At almost 80 years old, it's a little bit late.
I just followed the breadcrumbs. I started working with the right people. Started writing my articles. I never knew where it was going to go. The articles led to my books. Books led to seminars, and the seminars led to the website. And this is what I do for a living. Not that I'm, trying to wring out as much money out of every person I meet, but I do make a living at this. Yeah. And if I don't make a living, I can't do it. These shows are free, kind of, but without the website, these shows wouldn't be here. So I wouldn't be doing it at all.
Well, I make my money by selling stuff, which is I despise doing. That's the part
I gotta work on you, man.
That's the part I don't like.
Yeah, I don't like marketing, but I do. I have a business. Yeah, it's funny. Someone was saying something on my YouTube channel. Was it yesterday or today? I can't remember now. Saying that we have too many promos in the beginning. And I go, well, the show is the marketing arm of my Breeders' Academy.
I don't think it's so bad. Once you get through them, you don't stop. And now we're just yapping, right?
Yeah. And so I said,
people can ask any. I'm assuming they can still ask questions. Yeah.
Well, I told him, I go, get used to it because there's going to probably be more advertisements eventually because we do have to market. Like I said, the show is here because it's the marketing arm of the website.
Right.
And if you don't want the ads and you don't want all the small talk that comes with it in the beginning, then join the Breeders' Academy because on the website there's no ads. I cut all this extra stuff. I cut out. I leave the hardcore stuff, the stuff that you want to learn in the website. In the video that goes on the website. So if it's the ad you're worried about, join the Breeders' Academy and you can watch all the videos you want without ads. But you're going to get more ads. It's just that's how it is. Yeah.
Well, it's no different than going to Facebook or something. An advertisement comes up on a video after you're watching it for a while. It costs money to do all that. I get it. I
don't want to hurt your feelings, and I don't want to put you out and inconvenience you, but because all you want is the information, and I'm glad you feel that the information's worth it. But you're going to get the ads because that's how we pay for this. I just,
No, I openly admit that I'm a crappy salesman.
I know. I need to work on you, man.
Yeah, it's
Okay, enough about that. Do we have anything else we need to discuss?
We always kind of slide right into the small talk again at the end.
Always do. Yeah, always do.
If you're hanging on because you have nothing better to do, because we're pretty much done teaching at this point, you know.
Yeah.
So
Hey, y'all can leave. We're just gonna chat for a while.
this is P and
know,
I's conversation normally without you guys watching. So
I think good things come out of this. You know, like this fellow in Hawaii. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's going to be a good thing. Whether it works or doesn't work, we'll find out.
yeah, if he's a member, we got quite a few from Hawaii that are members of the BA. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear how it goes.
Yeah, and there's another combination that I'm working on. It's hot red peppers and something else, 2 other things mixed together. But I don't always get. I don't always get the time anymore. You know, I've got issues with my hands, as Kenny knows, and so there's many a day that I'm chomping at the bit to get out of the office. So as soon as I'm done shipping everything, I'm gone like the wind, and my hands are really, really bad shape. So it's life. You live long enough, it's going to happen, whether you like it or not.
Yes, it is.
Some of us lose our hip. Hip problems.
Well, I'm about to lose a couple of finger joints here pretty quick. So
I kept
Don't
telling the
jinx
doctor,
me, guys. I'm doing okay.
yeah, I kept telling the doctor, I'm too young for this. He goes, no, you're not. You're right at that prime age. I go, thank you.
well, I've been dealing with this here. I've been seeing this particular hand surgeon for just short of 10 years probably now. And when I first saw him, you know, he looked at my right hand is the worst, but they're both nasty. And he said, you know, he said, sure, so I can fix it. He said, but at your age, he said, you know, he said, you're not the typical 70-year-old I see coming in here. He said, they're in canes, walkers, gurneys, whatever. He said, you know, you don't look like your age. You don't talk like your age.
No.
He said, and you'll have it all messed up. He said, and you'll be back in here and want me to do it again. He said, the joints are crap, and they are. I've looked into it. It's nothing but a piece of neoprene, put both sides. Pretty simple. It's a 2-hour operation. By the time they prep you, put you to sleep, whatever. They just go and they reflect the skin. They cut the joint out, and they got a drill tool they use here, and they make a space in the bone marrow in this side and that side, and they slip the joint in, put it back together, and the ligaments all that hold it together. So the issue you're going to have going forward, that's going to be a weak spot forever.
So what's the healing process? How long?
6 to 8 weeks.
Man, do it.
Well,
you know, I was worried about my hip, man, but I was healed in no time.
Well, he told me to put it off as long as I could stand it, up to the point now where I can't stand it. So
yeah,
it's time. I have an appointment May 4th, I think, somewhere in there. I got it written down.
Tell your doctor to get it done because I need you to work on some more outlines for me.
Well, right now I'm doing everything left-handed because my right hand.
I know that's what you're telling me. I need you back in full.
Well, I showed
operational.
you. Well, I showed you before the show started.
Yeah,
when we were backstage, what my fingers looked like, and most people think when you think Dupuytren's contracture, okay, that's what they call trigger finger. I don't have that kind, or at least it hasn't progressed at the time. I've got it's making a V from my pinky on my right hand to whatever the next finger is called over here, but it's got a hard core down in here, and this gets extremely sore. So when I use the mouse, okay, just from the pressure of my hand running across the top of it and directing the mouse, I just can't do it. So now I'm doing everything left-handed. That's a hoot.
Oh, yeah.
That's a hoot because I'm right-handed. So
yeah.
I just bought a new pair of sneakers. Okay.
Slip-ons.
Yeah, because I can't tie my shoes either anymore.
Hey,
that's what I had to do with my shoes. When my hip went out, I couldn't reach down to tie my shoe.
I could reach
be
down
outside. My shoelace would come out. I'd have to have Nancy and Tani tie my shoe. People are walking by. Bad hip. Trust me. I felt like an idiot, you know. So I have to tie my tie. I had to tie my tie, the tie on my shoe really good so it wouldn't come out. And then I'm able to slip them in because I couldn't, put my shoes on.
When your daughter's
now I'm back to normal. I can do everything like I used to.
When your daughter's tying your shoes, you holler, "I'm not infirm. I'm not infirm."
She's my daughter. Trust me.
Meanwhile, she's going, He's a slave driver.
Yeah.
Yes, master. Yes,
Yeah.
master.
My daughter would never let an opportunity slide like that, man.
Well,
She'd be saying it.
I like my sneakers real, any shoe, whether it be sneaker or whatever. I like it real tight, and I can't do it. I can't pull the laces tight and make the loops all at the same time. My hands just can't do it. So I was talked into these, and they're adequate. Let's put it that way. They're okay.
Yeah.
They need to be tightened up a little bit. So, but that's where I'm at for now. So,
Yeah, I'm so used to slipping on my tennis shoes. I still do it, kind of. Yeah. I mean, I can now. I can reach down and tie them like I used to, and everything. Everything feels normal again. It's so great.
I'm very particular about socks. I haven't found a pair of socks yet. I must have 5,000 pairs of socks. I mean, they're everywhere. Okay, and I'll pick the ones that I know are better than the others, and work my way down to the ones that I hate before I do the laundry and stuff, and go back and do the others.
Well, I'm an easy husband. That's Nancy, because when I buy a certain type of sock, I buy a whole bunch of them. They're all the same. She doesn't have to fold them. She doesn't have to match them or anything. She just throws them in the drawer, you know?
We're giving out too much information, but I will say this. He has more clothes than I do. And I'm a girl.
That I can't reach, by the way.
And he has more shoes than I do, too.
Well, what I was getting to say about the sneakers now, the pair that I just replaced these with, okay? I've been wearing them probably now for pre-pandemic. And during the pandemic, I bought a brand new pair of the same style. Okay. And same size, same color. All right.
Yep. Sounds
and
like
I hate it. And
no, that's Nancy. She made a big. Go ahead.
They're a high dollar sneaker. They're $200. I won't wear them. I don't like them. The way they fit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Nancy made a big deal about having a lot of shoes. Well, it's not like you think like I have all this variety and everything. I find a shoe that fits right. I buy a whole bunch of them, so I don't have to go back and buy them again. Okay. So that's how I am. I got a whole bunch of boxes because I know that shoe fits. I like how it works. I don't have to go shopping or worry about them not making it anymore and everything, because they did that once to me.
Yeah, I hate shopping. So last week when I bought these, the guy was fitting me for these sneakers and stuff. He looked at my old ones. He said, "These aren't doing you any good." I said, "Well, they feel better than the new ones." And he looked at me like I had 3 heads. I'm telling you, they're sitting here in a box.
Yeah,
they're sitting there.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'll ever wear them. I can put them on me when I'm dead. That's all.
Yeah.
No, I wear them until they start looking like crap, and then I wear them out in the chickens until they fall apart. Then I replace them with another one.
Yep.
Until I run out of shoes, and then I go buy another 10
I
pair.
usually take care of them, not too hard on them, so they usually last me a fair amount of time. But the socks I got to work on. I just paid $25 for a pair of socks the other day.
Oh wow!
Because I was convinced they were better than what I had on.
Were they?
No, I'm not so convinced. I think I at least for $25.
Okay, well, if you're gonna pay that much for socks, we need to work on your marketing skills.
Well,
we need to sell some medications or something.
I bought all the ones that are supposedly good: the Dockers, the Adidas, Nike. I won't buy; I hate them, and that's a personal thing. And one other brand I bought. And they all suck. They're just uncomfortable, sliding around in your shoe and everything else. I try not to think about it. I say hell out of me.
It sounds like you think about it a lot. You know
what's funny, and we better go because we've been on for an hour and a half. But I will say this. You know what's funny? In 100 years, what our people do.
Well, they don't have to stay. This is a conversation we'll do whether they're here or not. So what the hell? The chickens are gone. We're done with the chickens. We're on the other things.
Watch the numbers go down to 0. It's
they just might.
It is a weeknight, you know.
They don't have to stay.
In 100 years, I bet what we have today, like if you go to an antique store right now, you can go and find a pair of shoes that were made 100 years ago, and they're still good quality shoes. They lasted.
Well,
But
you could also take them to the shoe shop and repair them and fix them and all that. You can't
yeah,
even
they
do
did
that
that.
anymore.
They did that back then. But now, from 100 years from now, you get a tennis shoe and it's like, what is this crap?
The closest I come to fixing my tennis shoes when they start falling apart out there is getting that Gorilla Glue and gluing my soles back on.
I'm not going that far.
I'll do anything to get a little more out of that shoe, you know?
Well, what are you talking about? You just got extra air coming, ventilation.
No, the sole.
Oh, the sole.
Go look at my shoe under the coffee machine. The sole's coming off on the front end. It's time for the Gorilla Glue.
I got some. I'll hand it to you.
It's that black stuff that you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
I know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I need some. I'm losing my shoe. I'm going to be soulless here pretty soon, man.
Okay. So let's wrap this up until Friday. We have another fun-filled episode getting ready for you. We'll be there at 6 California time. Be there, be square.
Yep.
And I have no clue what we're talking about, but I'm sure Kenny does. Do we need to run
now, or do you want to wait?
Do we need to run our sponsor? Because we haven't done that yet.
Now I'm just showing off. I just don't.
All right, let's hear a word from our sponsor, and then when we come back, we're going to tell you what we're going to be talking about.
No, let's not do that.
Friday.
We'll just no. We're not
Just
gonna do
cut.
that. Yeah, we'll just cut.
Run and cut.
Yeah.
Okay. Run and cut.
The new sponsor spots you're gonna do. We'll do it then.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Nancy.
He's working me like a dog, guys. Feel sorry for me. I swear to God. I started working at 10 o'clock yesterday. I didn't finish.
Hey, how is it working for me when I have to remind you every day
night.
what you're supposed to be doing?
What?
I'm working you like a dog, but how's it working out for me when I got to tell you every day what you're supposed to be doing? What are you doing? You're not supposed to be doing that.
What are you talking about? That's what I do to you.
Editing. I'm doing for a show.
Okay, guys, can you see? There's this chair, and there's a chair behind him. That's where I sit. You can see that lamp right there.
Mhm.
That's where I sit. And when he's working, most of the time, he's in that other desk there. And I'll turn around to him and I'll go like, "What are you doing?" Because he's sitting here like this on the phone.
I'm answering members.
Like, what are you doing? I'm over here working, making banners and stuff. And
Yeah.
what are you doing on your phone?
No, I'm actually working on my outline.
No, he does. He works on his phone, the outline and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he looks like he's farting around, but he's actually working. Yeah.
I don't have that problem.
I'm actually sometimes I'm actually farting around,
That either.
but I give her a list of things to do. I'm like, when are you going to get to this? When are you going to get to that?
Yeah. Well, I'm almost done editing that last episode, 211.
It was so funny. She's editing it. All she does is laughing her ass off. She goes,
Oh, this one's going to be a good one, guys.
Nancy, I have a question for you.
Sure.
How much is he paying you?
She gets
okay.
all my money. What are you talking about?
All right. Well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this.
She goes there and transfers money into her account every freaking day.
Because I don't work anymore. We got to pay the bills. What are you talking about? You think the post office pays a decent pension? Hell no. I went to a gem show for my other channel to record it, get some content. And I found some pretty nice pieces there. And I got in the car because Kenny left. He's not into gems. So he went and sat in the car while I was still creating content. And I get in the car and I said, "Honey, you don't need to get me a Mother's Day present, a birthday present, an anniversary present, or a Christmas present this year. I just done bought some stuff."
Wait till you see what you bought me. You know?
Yeah. See, it's always better that we buy our own gifts because then we get what we want.
That's true.
Sure, absolutely.
Because he is lousy at jewelry styles. So
I can tell you, she's not the woman I married. Because when I first married her, I could have got her an empty box, and she went, "For me." Now something expensive has to be in that box. Things have changed.
Okay, I spent $100, guys. I didn't spend $1,000. I spent less than $100. I spent $82
That gets me Mother's Day and Christmas. That's awesome.
Wow.
You're a cheap date.
Cheap
Wow.
date, yeah.
I don't even drink, so you don't have to
Oh, wow.
buy an expensive alcoholic beverage for me.
It makes me feel bad because what I want right now is like $3,000.
Yes, he does.
And I don't ask for much, but I do want this.
Yes, he does.
I was looking at the advertisement just today.
And you know what gosh, what am I saying here? Okay, so you know what my lead up to that is? You can go get your expensive item if you take me to the swap meet first, because it's right around the corner from the store that he wants to buy this at. And I want to go to the swap meet because I like to look for necklaces and things, and just neat odds and ends. And I'm like, if you take me to the swap meet, you can buy whatever you want, honey. You work hard for it.
That sounds good. You pick a Sunday, baby. I'm ready to go.
What, you want a new set of golf clubs? Is that what it is?
Oh gosh,
no, I'm kind of done with
golf.
golf these days.
Okay.
Yeah, my golf clubs are all dusty out there. I haven't swung a club in quite a few years, but no, it's actually a camera.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, real nice. It's a Sony A7 IV, the newest model.
Okay.
I've already got the lenses, so that's saving her money there.
Is it a what kind of camera?
It's a mirrorless,
Okay.
so it does video and
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
it's a really nice camera.
So
Yeah,
we'll use it.
I've got somebody on Facebook that's a friend from a long time in the chicken stuff. She's out of the chickens now, but she's in Indiana, and she inherited this tract of land to manage as a site for birds and animals and stuff to come and stuff. And so she's kind of like the overseer of it and stuff. But she's got a photographer, got one of those big ass lenses and stuff. And some of the pictures she takes are just knock your socks off. Stunning. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm hoping he's going to get for me. I mean, I really could have used him inside that butterfly enclosure the other day.
Because this equipment I'd be using it mostly for her projects.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got a nice big old gimbal and the camera and the lenses and everything. And man, the things I can do with that is awesome.
Hey, guys, I don't know if you heard about it. I'm talking to the chat room right now.
Are they still here?
Yeah.
We still have people watching this?
Here.
Oh, wow.
Actually, Josh just showed up. So let's start the show over for Josh.
No, let's let Josh start over for Josh.
But anyway, guys, last week, was it last Monday? I think it was. We went live at the San Diego Safari Park, and that was a lot of fun. So we may do that again here real soon. So, make sure that you are having the bell clicked so that you get notified anytime that we just go on air.
I just want to do it differently because you took command of it or control or whatever you want to do. And all you talked about is elephants and they just left. I go,
we
did
couldn't
you
get
really
anybody
expect
to
them to
ask any
stay? You're
questions.
talking about elephants, everything. We should have been talking about chickens. So we do that every now and then.
Yeah. No, I promise. Well, you know what? Nobody was asking any questions. That's why I kept talking about the elephants, because that's what they were seeing were the elephants, because they got a new elephant enclosure. It's really cool.
I just thought it would be something nice to do once in a while where we're not sitting at a desk in front of a camera, where we're on location. We're doing like a Q&A, make it a little fun for us, a little scenery as we're walking. The wild animal park here is just down the street. Beautiful place. It's where we get all our walking done. It's where we get our exercise done. And then do Q&A about, chickens, breeding, whatever, So hopefully that'll work. Hopefully people are interested in that because it's fun for us.
I'll send you some pictures of my butterfly days, raising butterflies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I use it as the screen on my cell phone.
Oh, okay.
So
See, we were talking in the chat earlier. We were talking about Peter being in the witness protection program. This is what he looked like earlier when we first were getting on the show.
Oh yeah, he's sitting back in his chair now. He's in the dark.
Yeah, he could be making faces.
I'm trying to find
even know.
sitting at the light. Want to grill me now?
That's what it looks like. It
All
looks
right,
like
what
you're
year
being
were you born? Where are
interrogated,
you
you know?
from?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to send you some lighting.
It's a
Yeah.
funny thing. No, I got to go to the store and buy something, I guess. I just never thought about it.
I'll send him a light bulb.
Like these lights we have here. Maybe I should send him a couple.
I'm sorry, I'm shaking the table.
I'll get your grandson to set them up for you. That way they can all see what you look like, except for the little sample we have at the bottom of the screen.
Sure.
There. So,
Sure. Yeah, you can raise butterflies yourself. I don't know what's different species you have out there, but
Monarch butterfly.
they're a bit of a pain in the ass.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're harder to raise in my opinion, because you have to have milkweed for them.
Oh, okay.
I did them for a couple of years, maybe 3 years, and I'll show you all of the pictures of them hatching and stuff. It's kind of neat. Their chrysalis looks a very nice shade of green, and then around the top of it, it's dotted with little dots that look like they're gold. Pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
I'll send it to you. I got it on my cell phone. I can send it to Kenny, and he can forward it to you and do what you want with it. But
They had the giant owl, the postman, orange Julia. Let me think, what else did they have? Mostly the giant owl were the ones that there was plenty of those flying around. The zebra butterfly, they had longwing, I guess it's called zebra longwing. That was a real cute one. Looked like a little zebra. But yeah, the one that landed on me was a giant owl. And the funny thing about it, it's got the big circles on its wings, and what it does is it intimidates their predators, because they think they're eyes looking at them. So that's really cool. And they're huge. Yeah.
Yeah. The last year I had a problem with birds, because I just do it on my deck. I had one time before I had done it out in the yard, and I don't know whether it's the climate change or whatever you want to put to it, but it seemed to me that it was getting more and more difficult to raise them. I always bought plenty of milkweed. Actually, the first group that I started with, I had gotten milkweed from Michigan, and I was making trips out to Michigan for other reasons too, but I would stop at that nursery when they had it available, and I'd load up on it and bring it home. It's a particular kind I liked. Trying to remember the name of it. Beautiful white flowers on it, and another one was pink and stuff. Pretty cool. So I'd line both sides of my deck. My deck isn't big, but maybe 4 or 5 plants on that side. And they grow huge. Okay?
Yeah.
And put that on each side, and I was having a good time with it. So the monarchs are really flighty. They really don't like to be around you that much. But right after they hatch is the best time to get them to sit on your hand. I've got a picture of one sitting on my hand, because once they're dry, they're gone. They just take off, and they come back. They'll come back to and go to the milkweed and get nectar and stuff, and go to. I got a big butterfly bush here, and that has a lot of flowers on it, so they'll come and visit. But the birds come too. So the birds were starting to come and pick off the caterpillars off the milkweed. Now the black swallowtails that I raised, those are easier because they eat parsley. And the same problem there. I was having as they would get up to decent size and birds flying around, recognizing that they're there, they come and just take the caterpillars. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this year or not. Probably not with my hands the way they are, because I know I'm looking at surgery here at some point after May. And I don't know what he's going to do, 1 finger, 2 finger. I don't know what he's going to do about the Dupuytren's contracture, because that's got to go. So we'll see. We'll see how far I got to go with that. And
I get green worms on my kale. They love my kale. These green worms. I don't know.
It's probably something specific to them, just like the tomato worms, the big green giant things that eat holes in your tomatoes and stuff.
Yeah,
they're ugly looking. But
I hate those.
And the different stages of the caterpillars for the butterflies, I think is pretty cool. Especially the monarchs, they're really pretty.
Yeah.
And but I like the whole thing of it. And like I said, 7-8 years, that have done it. Last year, like I say, I half-assed it. I lost interest in it once they started eating the caterpillars on me. Then I let the
Yeah, it's something we don't see a whole lot of around here, caterpillars.
and I wasn't growing my own parsley, so I was having to go, and parsley generally at the nursery is not available year round, so I have to go buy maybe $300 or $400 worth and keep it going. Yeah, well, you get enough of them on the stuff, and they'll whip the snot out of that stuff. They just suck it right down. You come out and it's the hell you guys doing? Go on a diet or something. But the more
we got Hamage.
Yeah. So
I think that's what his name was, Hamage.
So I got to figure out a way of doing it. Maybe it's to let the butterflies lay their eggs, because the eggs are pretty cool. The black swallowtail, it looks like a cream-colored egg, smaller than the size of the head of a straight pin.
Oh my God.
And I'll show you what they look like. It's pretty cool.
You can. How do you even see them? Wow.
Yeah. Well, they don't take them then. They wait till you've got money invested in these suckers, and they wait because they get bigger, and then they just swoop in and grab them off the top of because they'll go anywhere. And the funny part about it is you never know where they're going to make their chrysalis, because you can hardly find them. I've had some go completely across my yard, which from my deck to the shed chicken coop, it's probably about 25 feet. And I'm saying to myself, how in Lord's name did you get off the deck, go down the steps, or fall off the deck, whatever, and go across the grass and go and climb partway up that building and decide, okay, this is where I'm going to make my chrysalis. Just found it by accident.
Well, here's the thing. I've got some really nice, pretty blue jays in my yard. So I doubt seriously a butterfly is going to be able to survive in my backyard.
What my plan would be is to get them started outside once you get the eggs, and then you can bring them inside. They don't need to be outside to grow. They just need the parsley. And I'd let them out there until they hatch out of that egg. It doesn't take long. It's only a few days, 4 or 5 days, I think, if my memory serves me correctly.
And then you let them go and they fly away.
That's cool.
You don't even get to spend time with them.
It's cool to watch the development. When you see what I've got, you'll understand why a person would be as nutty as me to do that. Okay. And I didn't start it all on my own. It was from somebody else that I was close to that had started it. And I just kept it up after that. I thought it was pretty neat. So,
cool.
Yeah.
It's too bad you can't come out here and go to this butterfly event. It's kind of cool.
I've been to a number of them. Let me see, the one in Michigan, I've been to that one at the Meyer. They've got a big place out there, and they had one there, and that was pretty cool. They had waterfalls and all that kind of junk in there. And then I was into one up in Pennsylvania and another place. Pretty neat. They're required by law. I don't know about California, they're kind of wackadoodle out there, but they have to account for every, and I'm assuming it's as best you can, because I'm looking at the place, I'm going, okay. In other words, if they die, they got it. Let's say they've got 500 of a particular butterfly, they have to account for those 500. At the end of that exhibit, they've got to collect all of those butterflies. There can be no live butterflies leaving that exhibit.
Yep. Same here.
Yes.
Same here.
Yes, we had
They make you take off your hat, look under the hat. They check
we
everything.
had 3 search stations before we left that enclosure to make sure none of them had slipped out with us.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I went to one, had like an air chamber type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were going to strip search you there for a second.
Yeah, because I was still filming when they were getting the butterfly off of me, that it was staying on me. And, you have to flap your hair, making sure it's not embedded in your hair, all that stuff. So, yeah, it was an event. It was really neat. If anybody is down in the San Diego area, I suggest you go see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Kenny, we better hop off. I still got to get you ready for tomorrow. And we got a lot to do.
Still, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I pay you for.
You don't pay me squat.
Dinner. I had to. You want to hear something before we end?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. Yeah. What the hell? Let's
You
go
really
3
gonna
hours.
tell this
Okay?
story?
Yeah. Let's go 3 hours. So my daughter, I'm trying to get her on the road as much as possible. I said, okay, let's do a Costco run. I'll go down to Costco, fill up the gas tank, and we'll go into Costco and get some things, right? And Nancy put on the list. She wanted us to get a bunch of stuff on the list. So I said, okay, we'll get stuff on the list. Well, the one thing she didn't exactly write down on the list was get dinner. At least I didn't see it. So I get home and she's like,
let me say, I need to defend myself here. So I was sitting in that chair right behind him, and he was sitting over there in that desk. And I said, while you're there at Costco, get something for dinner.
we are married. I don't listen to everything.
Whether it's a rotisserie chicken or whatever, get something for dinner, because I had been working since 10 o'clock all the way till I think 9:30, creating content. I had to get the butterfly video out because they only have so much time.
My explanation was going to be a lot shorter than yours.
Yeah, no, okay. So anyway, I was working and I didn't want to stop to go in the kitchen and make dinner. So I said, get something while you're there. And he goes, yeah, okay. Well, he comes home and he goes, yeah, look what we got. We bought some of this, we bought some of that. And I'm like, okay, what'd you buy for dinner? And he gives me this blank, like, you didn't tell me I had to get anything for dinner. And I'm like, the hell I didn't. He goes, it wasn't on my list. And I'm like, I know it was on your list because I said it to you face to face.
Okay, so she wasn't going to fix me dinner. So I had to go in the refrigerator. When I realized I wasn't getting dinner, it was almost 9 o'clock. I'm older, okay? Just that's a side thing. So I fixed the lasagna. Knew I had a feeling it was going to be an issue. And I waited. Okay, let me wait till 12 or 1 to go to bed. Maybe I'll digest my food by then. And then I got to around 12 and go, oh shoot, I'm starting to feel it. So I had some popcorn to absorb it. And I waited another hour and decided, okay, I'm going to go to bed. And I spent the whole night tossing and turning because of heartburn. So it's amazing I'm awake right now because I am tired as hell. I think I got 3 hours sleep.
Well, I didn't get much sleep either because you kept waking me up. So
I know she started yelling at me in the middle of the
night.
You
guys go back and watch the podcast. You're going to see that I was nodding off throughout this podcast.
Well, I was mumbling. I was trying to ask Pete some questions and I was mumbling my words. I'm so tired. So I was like, God, maybe I should have got another soda or something, So it's been a hell of a day.
Wow.
Yeah, I've had an interesting day myself. So
yeah, you were telling me about it.
It's the way it is.
Yeah.
And but no, I don't sleep well either. I'm usually up till 1, 2 in the morning. But not uncommon for me.
Well, I knew I was going to bed late. I figured, okay, I'll sleep in real good and make sure I get to sleep. Nope. Woke up 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Couldn't go back to sleep.
Yeah. Once I wake up, I'm up. That's the way it is. So.
Well, then she's yelling at me saying, stay still, quit rolling around, go to sleep. Well, you're waking me up. And I'm
what
like,
are you doing?
I'm on my phone at this point. I'm like, I had lasagna for dinner that I didn't really want. It's not my fault. It's kind of your fault, but here we are.
Okay, I'm telling you, every woman out there that is watching this podcast,
I don't think it worked.
Every woman out there that's watching this podcast is going, man, you got to learn how to cook, mister. You should be taking care of yourself.
I went 60 years without learning how to cook. You think I'm going to start now?
I spoiled him.
I'm a married Italian guy. We don't cook, okay? That's what we got married for.
And there's a lot of Italian guys that cook.
I know plenty of Italian guys that cook. Yeah.
No, my dad. None of the guys in my family cook.
Really?
That I know of.
Bunch of shirkers.
Yeah.
My brother Vinny will barbecue once in a while, but
at least he'll do that. You don't even do that.
Why would I want to ruin a good thing?
Popcorn sounds really good for dinner right now.
Okay, well, make me dinner. You have popcorn. Something not spicy, by the way. Look what time it is.
It's a can of soup for you, buddy.
Oh, shit.
All right, we better get off. Nobody's here anymore. There's only 11 people watching.
I'm surprised they lasted this long, tell you the truth.
Probably think we're a bunch of lunatics.
Yeah.
Boy,
I think our show is in like this all the time with Pete. Well, I really appreciate it, Pete.
No
This is
problem.
a good topic. Lot of things
What
here
topic
people.
was it again?
It was about chickens, right? Oh,
Come on now.
yeah. Insecticide. See, this is how tired I am. Insecticide resistance. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Really good stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
And next time, like I say, we'll go over the natural stuff and some of the other organophosphates, some of the rougher stuff, and just give people an idea of what's out there. You know.
Yeah. Awesome.
At one point in time, one of the most used was malathion.
Oh yeah.
Stuff you stink like hell. But
I had a mentor who was using it.
Mhm.
I think he just mixed it too strong this time.
Hmm.
And he was using it. He would go from brew pen to brew pen, just kind of spraying the tails a little bit, kill the feather lice that's marking up the tails and everything.
Mhm.
He was spraying down the tails, walking the next one, spraying that one, walking the next one, and he was walking back to see how they were doing. They were dropping dead on him because of the malathion. Malathion he was using.
Yeah.
Weren't there some people that use gasoline, dip their feet in gasoline?
Yeah,
that
then
was,
they light
that
on
was
fire.
scaly leg mite. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's asinine. I mean, it just is. I mean, it's so easy to take them and just stand them in the permethrin, mix it up like you would for put it on a bird. Just let them stand it for a minute or so, take them out of it, and the cast will start to fall off and you kill the mites and it's done.
What about using the pyrethrum? How do you say it? Pyrethrums?
Permethrin.
Permethrums. Yeah.
Per is the man-made, pyrethrin is the natural one.
Okay, I'm not sure which one it is then.
Mhm.
Putting it in a bucket, mix it with water, and dipping them.
They do it, but again, the longer you
against
keep
that?
them in it, you run the risk of hurting the birds. You might not kill them, but they might do the herky jerky for you.
Because that's what a lot of people do. They actually dip their birds.
Yeah, game fowl people do that. Most of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what a show, huh?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Okay, well, I appreciate you coming on, and we'll talk later.
Okay.
Yeah, and thanks for the guys that hung out to the very end, which is a feat.
Putting up with us.
Yeah.
Let's give a roll call.
There's 11 people, and I owe you a prize, because you really hung out to the very end, So we'll see you guys all later. Thanks, Pete. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Take care now.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye.